Hey everyone, Jeff at Tidy Bytes here. I have a challenge for you. I want you to find whatever device you use, turn the volume way up, and silence it. What? How is that possible? I'm playing with words here. I'm not actually talking about volume. I am talking about notifications. Because we have a tendency these days to allow just about everything that asks to give us push notifications. And that means all through the day, we get these bings or beeps or vibrations or however your device is configured all day long. Every single app is trying to get our attention. And only in very rare cases should it actually be allowed to do that. So if you are someone who, like me, from time to time finds yourself sitting at a desk trying to get work done and realizing after 3 or 4 hours that you've been there and got a lot less than you expected to in that time, that could be one of the reasons why. Because there are just so many sources of distraction, and not just the ones that we don't have control over, but those notifications on our phones. We do have absolute control over, but we still let them in, and it just shatters our ability to focus. Every time we install a new app, we get the little prompt that says, this app would like to be able to send you notifications, allow or deny. And far too often we allow it because we think there's some value. And sometimes there is some, but not usually enough to warrant, especially as many as we do. So as we go through our day and we get 50 or 100 notifications sometimes that just pile up or linger from previous days, we develop a defense mechanism often, which usually looks like ignoring them, because what else can we do? I read a comment from somebody on social media recently who was looking for a way to configure his phone days in advance to alert him in a way that would punch through whatever else he was doing. So, at the gym, at the grocery store, something at home, he wanted it to act like an alarm, but actually be a notification for whenever this task happened. And he said something specific that really caught my attention. He said, I don't want it to use push notifications because I've become blind to push notifications. And I read that and I thought, man, what a terrible result. Because push notifications really can be quite helpful if we use them correctly. But we have allowed so many to come in, they're no longer timely, helpful alerts that deserve to interrupt other things that we're doing. They just become a giant pile of noise. And so my challenge to you in telling you to silence your phone is not, again, about the volume. It's about trying to pull way back on the things that are allowed to generate notifications in the first place. Because if you turned off all of your notifications, even if your volume was up, it would be silent, wouldn't it? And obviously, we can't turn everything off. That would defeat the purpose of the good notifications. Sometimes we need to see things, for example, from our friends and family members who are trying to send us messages, or we have a security alert kind of an app. We wouldn't want to suppress those. But in most cases, I would bet that on your device, you've got many, many things that you could easily turn off. And not only would you not notice, or I should say, you wouldn't miss it, but you would start to feel much more relaxed around your phone because it's not constantly pinging you to get attention. You would start to develop a healthier relationship where you don't feel the need to constantly check your phone to see, oh, well, let's see. Okay, I saw that one. No, oh, wait, that was from Wednesday, wasn't it? I really need to reply to that one. The goal in silencing notifications like this is to train yourself to take control of your own attention, because all of us have a very limited amount of attention to spread around all the things that we need to do. And if we don't stay in control of that, then it's impossible for us to be anywhere near as productive as we could be under better circumstances. We need to be the ones who choose when and what we consume in terms of information, what we read, what we watch, what we listen to. We need to decide that consciously, or the rest of the world is going to decide for us, and their priorities are not going to line up with our priorities. You want your phone to be as quiet as possible to give yourself room to think and breathe mentally and consider ahead of time, do I actually want to go check on social media accounts? Do I actually want to see what new videos are up on my favorite YouTube channels? Do I actually want to go read news or any number of other things that try to get our attention throughout the day? So if you're willing to try this, and I do hope that you are, the first step is to figure out which apps are notifying you all the time. And there's a few ways to do that. Most simply, you can just look at your own notifications and see, okay, which apps show up in this list most often. You can also, on both iOS and Android in different ways, you can go to the settings app, and then on iOS, you can go to screen time, and it will give you a list of which apps are notifying you at all, and it sorts them by, say, worst offender, not its term, but that's a fun list, sometimes scary. On Android, it's under settings and then notifications and notification history. And that's a setting that you might have to turn on before it starts gathering that data, but you can turn it on and let it run for a day or 2 or 5 and check again after that to see. So once you have that list, the next thing you want to do is very aggressively decide which of those apps really don't deserve to be able to take your attention away from the other things that you truly want to focus on. And that list is going to look different for all of us. Like I said before, you might still want to have text messages from family members. You might have a, doorbell security app that obviously you want to have immediate delivery of those notifications. But other apps like email notifications, social media notifications, new video publications, news headlines, these things, while they may be useful and interesting, they should not be allowed to come grab your attention all day, every day. The goal is to cut out everything that doesn't deserve that privilege of saying, hey, come look, this is important. So once you've decided which apps you want to try turning notifications off for, you've got a couple options for how to do that. The best way, if you know how, is usually inside each app. There's generally a settings or configuration area where you can tell it, these notifications I want to allow, these notifications I want to deny, don't generate them. And as much as possible, just turn them off from inside the app. That's, I'd say, the preferred method. If you don't want to try that or can't figure out how, the other option is to go to the settings app for your phone, and this is true on both iOS and Android. And under the notifications section there, you have control over which apps are allowed to generate either any notifications at all or certain categories like, the little red badge that shows up sometimes or notifications that pop up and disappear. You can control from the phone, regardless of how the app itself is configured, which apps are allowed to generate notifications. So you can just say, okay, for YouTube and Facebook, no notifications at all. Don't care what the app says. They just will never be allowed to ping me on my phone. And the nice thing is, if you go into the Facebook app or whichever you're talking about, the notifications for that platform will still be there. You're not actually shutting them off. You're just preventing them from bugging you through your phone, which is great. For these kinds of lower priority apps, it's much better to treat them as on-demand resources. Stop letting them say, hey, now here's where you need to come and look, divert your attention, give me your eyeballs. No. You choose when you want to open that app. And then once you do that, everything you want to see is still right there. The notifications, new videos, whatever, it's all still there. But it was your choice. You decided, now is when I want to do that. One really important warning. If you do this, and again, I really hope you do not let yourself fall into the trap of impulse checking your phone all the time because you turned notifications off. That defeats the purpose. You don't want to just go and open Facebook and YouTube and news and email and text messages every 10 minutes because you don't want to miss anything. What you need is something of a mindset shift where you decide, I don't need all this information all the time, all throughout the day. I can choose, one or two times in the course of the day where I intentionally go check my email, I intentionally go check social media accounts, whatever else has been distracting me on a regular basis. And all the rest of the time, I'm just going to let my phone sit on my desk and to be quiet, unless something really important comes in. And in those cases, then I'll be interrupted, and that's okay. But see if you can get rid of, 50 or 70 or 90% of the things that are currently just nabbing your attention all throughout the day. Try it for just a few days, and I bet you will start to feel that digital dependency just kind of fade into the background. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, check out tidybites.com or like and subscribe here. Leave a comment if you have any ideas for something else you'd like me to cover or a follow-up to this. And until next time, see you later.